Welcome to the Space Marketing Podcast, where we look at marketing principles, strategies, and tactics through the lens of space. Information relating to our discussion today and links to the video version can be found in the episode show notes on spacemarketingpodcast.com. Please like and follow the podcast. It will help us get the word out about space. Disclaimer. Information in this episode is for entertainment and information only. Please consult a professional for your specific situation. I will be going to the Space Tourism Conference this Friday, and I am so excited. I attended this conference last year and had the best time. The conversations were stimulating, and we could not get enough. The next few months will focus on various industries within the space arena. This episode will focus on space tourism. The space experience economy. Space tourism provides a vital bridge to space that ignites visionary ideas that enable our spirits to conquer barriers. Dreams of space began hundreds of years ago with stories that captured our imagination. This spark resulted in the development of new technologies that allow us to soar into space for a moment through movies, theme parks, books, or to fly beyond gravity in real life. Our love affair with space began when we looked at the sky and created stories that took us through many adventures among the stars. From the stories in Greek mythology about Artemis and Apollo to Jules Verne's 1965 novel, we have always told the stories of space adventures. Space entertainment kicked off the 19th century with an iconic movie, A Trip to the Moon, which inspired an entire space movement for science and entertainment. This movie is regarded as the earliest example of science fiction film genre, and it is one of the most influential films in cinema history. In addition to transporting our minds to space through entertainment, these stories inspired great thinkers like Goddard to create vehicles that would break free from gravity's shackles. Fast forward a few decades, and we see the power of the original Star Trek series as the crew of the USS Enterprise boldly went where no one has gone before. This series provided a vision of potential of a spacefaring people that planted the seeds of inspiration for many dreamers to develop new technologies and to be a better people. Books, television, and movies are a part of three key pillars of space tourism. It is where many of us begin the journey to space. The Space Tourism Society defines space tourism through three primary mediums through which people have space experiences. 1. Real spaceflight. 2. Earth-based on-location experiences. And 3. Media experiences. Real space flight tourism is becoming a reality. John Spencer, president of the Space Tourism Society and co-founder of the Space Tourism Conference, states, "It officially launched on April 28, 2001, when a Los Angeles businessman, Dennis Tito, lifted off from Kazakhstan on a Russian rocket in a Soyuz capsule. He spent a week aboard the International Space Station in Earth's orbit. 7 other wealthy people followed his lead as the first generation of private space travelers. One of them even flew twice. The first generation of space tourism flew up to late 2009. After 2009, there were no civilians able to go beyond the atmosphere until once again in 2021. The time had come when ordinary people would have the opportunity to experience the magic of space travel. Virgin Galactic started the next wave off on July 11th, 2021, with Blue Origin launching 9 days later. SpaceX Inspiration 4 and Axiom AX-1 missions launched within the next several months. Some new options have appeared for real spaceflight that are a little closer to home. Several companies are preparing to launch stratospheric balloon rides to take passengers to the edge of our atmosphere for an incredible view of our planet. Number 2, Earth-based on-location experiences. Earth-based simulations, attractions, museums, and touring shows have been around for a while. These experiences take you to space with your feet firmly planted on Terra. They introduce you to what has happened, is happening, and what may happen in space. This pillar includes experiences like many hands-on activities at the Kennedy Space Visitor Center, rides like Space Mountain at Disney, the experience of the Museum of the Future in Dubai, or star watching at a local planetarium. Number 3, media experiences. Media experiences includes movies, TV shows, games, virtual worlds, events, and books that are the third pillar and where many of us begin our space journey. As we snuggle into a good book, adorn goggles to enter into a virtual reality world, or recline deep into a cinema seat munching popcorn, we get to travel to space for a few hours. So why is space tourism important? Hold on to your boosters. We will be right back to answer that question after a brief message from our sponsors. Please like and subscribe to the Space Marketing Podcast so you don't miss a thing. So, why is space tourism important? Real spaceflight, Earth-based on-location experiences like museums, and media experiences on the big screen are critical for building future scientists, biologists, doctors, marketers, welders, and all kinds of other professionals that reach for space and in return make our world a better place. Space tourism inspires, entertains, and educates participants in space. They plant the seed of dreams. Now, the space industry is growing, and more people are experiencing the magnificent view of our planet and finding it awe-inspiring and life-changing. They bring that passion back down to the planet to protect it. When we talk about a tourist, a global tourist, somebody that travels to different countries and experiences other cultures, is defined as someone who travels for pleasure, recreation, interest, and exchange of culture. A global tourist is a type of ambassador to another place. Their journey expands their knowledge and experience about the world all around them. A great experience can make somebody fall in love with the location and its people. A global tourist can have a magical experience that is life-changing. An experience at a museum, an attraction, or a stroll among the cultural landscape can inspire that person to pursue a career, champion a cause, and share their experience with others. Upon their return, they become a valuable ambassador for the experience. As they share pictures and stories about their trips, they expose their audience to the wonder, the power, and the culture of another place. According to the dictionary Merriam-Webster, an astronaut is defined as a person whose profession is to travel beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Despite the sharp increase lately, the market size of the global tourism worldwide remains below the pre-pandemic level, and it still totals around $2 trillion in 2022. That's from Statistica. Space tourists and astronauts have a valuable part to play to inspire our world. Both titles can be valuable to inspire dreams of space. The term space tourist represents that valuable bridge to the public and is something that is attainable for most people. A space tourist is not reserved for the dedicated professional or even the billionaire that sponsors the trip. They are a beacon that is more relatable to the general populace. It is easier to save up $125,000 for a space perspective trip than it is to spend your whole entire life training to get that shot to the moon. We have had quite a few space travelers in the past few years that were everyday citizens and were gifted the trip. SpaceX Inspiration 4 selected a person by lottery, one of them by a social media competition, and another as a cancer survivor that was a physician assistant at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. There is power in names. When many of us think about being an astronaut, it may not seem attainable for the average person. Professional astronauts prepare their entire lives in order to make the list and maybe get selected for a mission to space. The education and training are beyond the means of many individuals. The professional astronaut is viewed with great esteem by many for their dedication and their sacrifice. Their position is not one of affluence, but equal in salary to a military personnel. Money is not the driving ambition for a hard-won spot in the history books. This was a vital component for the relatability of the Apollo astronauts. If they had been aristocrats, the space program might not have connected so deeply with the population. Their hard work is not something that the average person sees can be exchanged for a high dollar amount. The idea that you can buy a title can stir a negative narrative of entitlement and resentment that actually may stifle any support from the average citizen for space travel. A different title is just as important to the public perception. Space tourist and astrotourist are terms that symbolize something relatable and attainable. Once the space tourism industry builds, we will see the costs come down and the opportunities to fly increase. Space will be an experience that the everyday citizen will be able to enjoy and share. I found my place in space gazing up at the Space Shuttle Atlantis at the Kennedy Space Center. I encourage you to go find your place in space. Join me this Friday at the Space Tourism Conference. I have a panel of speakers that are incredible, and it will be one of the best conferences you've ever been to. A special thanks to John Spencer from the Space Tourism Society for the Space Tourism Industry Report. I will leave a link in the show notes where you can request a copy. Please like and subscribe to the Space Marketing Podcast to help get the word out about how incredible the space industry is. I hope that you have found this podcast useful for your journey as you reach for the stars.